know what I would write or what. And I actually, while he drove, I wrote this, and I made it actually very personal. But you can, I guess, infer what it was originally about. This is called 8 to 16. You came back again from one of your trips to the other side of the planet. You know I love you more than anything on Earth, but I'm getting used to your absence. It's a terrible thing to say, I'm sorry, but when you came back this time and said you had a fever, I figured you ingested their toxic water and you'd have the stomach flu for days, but then you'd be fine. But this time you had a fever, and I remember how you drank the water swimming south of the equator, and I thought nothing of it. I would just, you would be bad for a week. I would just, it would clear up in a week's time, and I would just hold off on kissing you again. But after 8 days, you went to the doctor, told him your travel and ails. And that's when the doctor called the CDC and the federal agencies swarmed in. After you left for the doctor, the next contact I had was with men in hazmat suits at my door. They asked me if I was alone. They asked me if I had any children. Then they asked me to come with them. I told them I needed to wait for my husband, and they told me that you are now in isolation. After hours, they told me that you caught a virus while you were away on your trip. But I said, oh, wait a minute. He was on a work trip, and his company makes him take tons of drugs so that he's immune and wouldn't catch anything. And that's when they stopped me, right there. They locked me in a room and told me I couldn't leave. And then they said he caught a bad strain while helping a woman he found on the street, bleeding, pregnant, and in pain. It took them 2 days to discover the details before they gave me the bad news. He's in isolation. We're trying new treatments, and hopefully he'll be okay. But I know of this virus. It's usually lethal, so please, let me see him now. So, that's when they said, sorry, it's out of our hands. You must be quarantined now. So I screamed at the medics, all to no avail, as they swore I had to say safe. So I paced in my isolation. I watched the drive-by news, and I heard them say stats that death from this virus comes from 8 up to 16 days. 8 to 16 days. It was 8 days before he even thought of going to the doctor. Was his waiting, is that waiting going to amount to his death? I couldn't talk to him. I couldn't see his face. I couldn't kiss him or tell him I loved him, that I'll always love him, that I'm nothing without him. The morning of the 5th day, trapped in isolation, that's when they told me he died. My blood work was clean, but they kept me in isolation when they said they'd cremate my love. And all I could think was, after you're done, send him to Arlington National Cemetery so the world will know that he is more than just my hero. He's more than just a hero to just me. While you've kept me away till he died. And still, I continue to pace, trapped in this room, alone, with nothing to wait for, ever again.